Every day incredible things take place all throughout the world. These incredible events would have been impossible to record in the past, but thanks to smartphones we can now take advantage of anything we want. Millions of people worldwide may view whatever is being witnessed in real time from the comfort of their homes by live streaming it. Join me as we browse some of the web's most spectacular videos. From the enormous beehive to the sheep blockade, here are some of the remarkable scenes that were captured on video. Monster beehive. Bees are beautiful animals that provide us with delicious honey, but none of us ever wants to get stung by one of their venomous stingers. One of the most significant pollinators in the world still today is the honeybee. The pollen on flowers, fruits and vegetables is dispersed by these little organisms. Without them, our ecology may suffer since they aid in plant growth. We don't like to see their hives close to our homes despite bees being lovely organisms. After all, they are very loyal and diligent animals who will go to great lengths to save their queen and advance the interests of the colony. While some honeybees do like to dwell close to populated areas, these enormous ones don't exactly fit that description. Instead, these enormous honeybees prefer to construct their colonies on cliffs that may reach heights of hundreds of feet. Although I know how tasty honey is, would you risk your life by scaling this cliff to get some honey? These are the honeybees that live in the highlands of Nepal. Additionally, they can be discovered in the highlands of China and India. Just observe the enormous swarm of bees. You run the chance of getting painful bee stings as well as dying if you fall hundreds of feet to your death. You might say that this is a high-risk, high-reward position, I suppose. Before we continue, please like the video, hit the subscribe button and quickly turn on the notification bell. Done that? Let's continue. Animal Crossing. If you witness this situation just in front of you, you'll be undoubtedly stopping your car and waiting. No matter what kind of creature you are, I suppose parenting is a very difficult job. As this mother bear struggles to get all of her cubs across the road, I can sense her struggles. Behind them, a large line of vehicles is parked in anticipation of the mother bear bringing her cubs across the roadway. The cubs, however, were quite mischievous, and it took the mother bear several tries before she was able to successfully transfer all of her young to the other side of the road. Just look at this adorable cub jumping across the road as if they aren't impeding traffic. The little cub appears to be jogging joyfully as his mother is going through one of the most trying times in her life. But congratulations to these drivers for their patience. Animal Savior. This endearing clip demonstrates how intelligent dogs are, despite the fact that they occasionally display silly behavior. In South Africa, a Pomeranian went into its owner's swimming pool by mistake. Unlike her pal, the Staffordshire Terrier, realized what had occurred. The small animal made every effort to keep afloat. The black dog can be seen frantically circling the pool in an effort to save her pal. The unfortunate Pomeranian ultimately managed to exit the water after multiple attempts, despite numerous close calls. The Staffy seemed to have almost succeeded in helping her pal get up at one point, but the unfortunate Pomeranian promptly fell back down. Watching the black dog struggle to defend her companion is tense. That is, until after numerous failed attempts, she succeeded in getting out of the water. Following this heated occurrence, the two return home while carrying a miserable Pomeranian that is drenched. The Staffordshire's actions reveal that she is attempting to confirm that her small pal is indeed okay. It's wonderful to see how well these two get along. Walking fish. Yes, it may appear strange, but these fish are moving around on land. More like crawling, but you get the idea. They're referred to as the climbing perches. The freshwater systems of Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, southern China and Japan are often home to these East Asian natives. Outside of these nations, however, they are seen as invasive species that cause more harm than benefit. The climbing perch, like other fish, is frequently cooked in Asia and is valued for its capacity to endure being out of the water for protracted periods of time. Moreover, they may be preserved fresher than other fish. These animals' ability to endure being out of the water for up to 6 days is incredible. Yes, that is somewhat incredible, but it is real. They have a poor reputation despite their fantastic ability, though. If birds or other fish try to consume and swallow these fish, they've been known to suffocate them. They're rarely tenacious fish, therefore, so it wouldn't be good if they made it to the waters of mainland Australia. Dragon fight. These two vicious dragons were seen battling on the Indonesian island of Palau. Just see how tenacious both are. Komodo dragons are these enormous beasts. They are the biggest lizards in the world, growing to a maximum length of 10 feet and weighing more than an astonishing 300 pounds. Komodo dragons have inhabited 5 of Indonesia's islands, where they continue to flourish despite the region's tough environment. They have a frightening reputation since they are rather ruthless. Just by looking at them, I definitely wouldn't want to approach them. The highly poisonous creatures known as Komodo dragons are long believed that these animal saliva contains a lot of germs that'll kill their prey. However, it's been discovered via a study at the University of Queensland that they also manufacture venom proteins exactly like poisonous snakes. These lizards have a reputation for being aggressive and may even attack if left alone. From 1974 to 2012, 24 assaults have been documented in Indonesia's Komodo National Park. You're better off monitoring and observing them on your phone if you're intrigued about them. Crossing the road. Highways are crowded with quick autos and quick trucks, making them unsuitable for a family of ducks. Hold your breath as you watch this tense video of a mother duck attempting to cross the road with her ducklings. Although there are recordings showing drivers stopping their vehicles to let animals cross the road, this is impossible on a busy highway. The mother duck is making every effort to guide her young to the opposite side of the road, as you can see in the video. Amazingly, the mother duck halted in the middle of the road as she waited for her young to stop fussing and join her. However, there have been a few close calls. They eventually succeeded in getting there with all of the ducklings in good health. Great Stingray Migration. The organisms that inhabit the water are also fairly amazing. Just look at this breathtaking scenery. Thousands of stingrays can be seen migrating in this video, which only takes place twice a year. It's fascinating to watch them flap their signals as if they were underwater. This is actually beyond lovely when you see it in person. Fevers are the term for a group of rays, and some of them may travel in packs of up to 10,000 rays. I'm aware that some of you might be considering how awesome it would be to swim in the middle of the group, but let me assure you, it's a terrible idea. If you're a skilled diver, you may have already accomplished this remarkable achievement, but there are just too many dangers. These animals carry deadly stingers that can sometimes be fatal. Duck hustlers. Animals and humans have coexisted for a very long time, and some of them have even been tamed to live among us. Ducks are one of the animals that we've cared for a very long time. I'm not sure what picture that remark evoked in your mind, but you can watch the ducks in action in this video. Farmers have assembled this enormous force of thousands of ducks to tackle the task of getting rid of all the pests in the rice fields. You can tell these ducks mean business by the way they swiftly waddle toward the snail-infested fields. This is known as an integrated agricultural method, and it's used in several Asian nations in addition to Thailand. Farmers and duck breeders come to an agreement from which they both profit. The farmers will profit from the ducks' continued presence on the farm since they act as live pest management, and the duck breeders will save money by reducing the cost of the ducks' food. It's really a win-win situation for both the farmers and breeders, and the customers. This approach seems to work well, plus, let's face it, watching the ducks is lovely. Crayfish Invasion. In this video, hundreds of crayfish swarm an office floor after a delivery driver makes the error of placing live crayfish in a workplace corner. A short while later, the crayfish start to escape the plastic bag and occupy the entire floor, suggesting that the bag wasn't closed properly. Two employees were astonished to discover hundreds of crayfish on the floor when they exited the elevator a short while later. Because of their looks, the two women even believed that they were bugs. CCTV footage of the entire event allowed security to quickly identify the individual who'd been throwing straight crayfish. I'm not sure who requested live crayfish to be delivered to a workplace, but I hope they collected all the crayfish they purchased. Tricycle carrying a car. Tricycles are one of the motorized horses in many places across the world, particularly in Asia. These three-wheeled vehicles are so strong that they can effortlessly transport anything, including a full van and a tall stack of boxes. Three-wheeled vehicles are rather dependable, as you can see from these pictures alone, but watch this video to see a tricycle in action. This tricycle could easily support the weight of an entire automobile. Given that this automobile may weigh more than 3,000 pounds, that is quite a feat. The automobile looks to be undrivable, and in order to avoid paying for a tow truck and its associated expenses, it was transported on the back of a tricycle. Despite its absurd appearance, the tricycle was ultimately able to go about while carrying a large automobile on its back. Drunk Raccoon. I believe someone became disoriented and unintentionally came upon a supply of booze. This raccoon is really inebriated. When this raccoon was discovered wandering about the warehouse by some employees, it chose to consume some of the alcoholic beverages rather than take any food. The raccoon's funny swerving while attempting to walk is amusing. The unfortunate man appears to be in a very bad mood, but these are the results of his own behavior. You may even see the raccoon robberies evidenced by the side. It looks like he overindulged and was unable to make a quick getaway. If you live in Ontario or another region where raccoons commonly scavenge for food in residential areas, you probably already know that these disguised robbers may get inebriated by ingesting fermented fruit. You could assume that a drunk raccoon has morphed into a rabbit when you encounter one, but they're actually merely inebriated, and there's a good probability that they'll soon pass out in the open. Simply observe these guys. If they ever come upon some, raccoons have also been known to drink wine. Raccoons have a reputation for being both obnoxious and cute. Raccoons are amusing to watch when they're intoxicated, but they're still wild animals at the end of the day, despite the fact that studies say they're rather clever creatures. Mysterious men. Mermaids are fanciful beings that are frequently portrayed as having human heads and upper bodies together with fishtails. Although there isn't actually any solid proof of these animals' existence today, many people still hold this belief. There are numerous online films with mermaid footage, however they all have different appearances and some of the clips are dubious. However, 5 enigmatic males were visible in this anonymous user-uploaded film at an unidentified place. The fact that they were all wearing protective gear and the setting truly gives the impression of being from a science fiction film. While the other 2 came over with a stretcher, the 3 guys in white suits carried something from close to the sea. The body the guys picked up has a tail, but it may be a little difficult to discern. Let's examine it more closely. I just had one thought. Could this be a video of scientists who have at last discovered a real mermaid? The source of this film, which has been going around the internet, is still a mystery. Sheep Roadblock. New Zealand is a really lovely nation. Its fantastic surroundings, stunning scenery, impressive mountains, glaciers and highways will provide for the most fantastic road trips. That is, until you approach the mountainside in your car and come across thousands of sheep. What precisely would you do in this stampede of sheep? You have a few options. You can wait for them to pass, go back the way you came, or just take out your phone and capture the amazing moment on camera. If you drive a truck in a rural area, you'll quickly grow used to these critters taking up most of the road. Although it's very amazing to see them gallop along the road, it appears that the animals are aware of when to move aside for the large trucks. Weirdest toad. Every species struggles with birthing, but for this Suriname toad, or the pipper, it's an outright freak show. One of nature's most bizarre displays is the birth of the Suriname toad. South American jungles are home to these species, and let me now describe to you how these strange toads give birth. The female pipper will lay 60 to 100 eggs during the mating process, and the male toad will insert the fertilized egg into the female toad's back. Although it is somewhat unique, their type usually goes through this procedure. The female toad's skin will cover the eggs during the next days, providing the ideal environment for their development and hatching. The Suriname toadlings will emerge from their mother's back after 3 to 4 months, and although many people find the sight unpleasant, it is fascinating to consider that this sort of phenomenon occurs in nature. There are some pretty wonderful species out there, and while it's strange and somewhat painful to observe the birth of the Suriname toad, it is still fascinating. The young toads will eventually leave their mother's back and begin their independent voyage. Once her young are ejected from her body, the mother toad will no longer care for them, and the cycle continues once the baby Suriname toads mature. Which of these videos did you prefer? Please share your thoughts in the section below. Check out some of our other awesome content that's now appearing on the screen, and we'll see you in the next video. Be careful, everyone.